this week about understanding how important it was to try and break up the serve and receive for Stanford, which is so good. Ogilvy gets it across. Gardy receives it, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach Rockwell knowing the power and the ability of the Stanford service team. She loves her own team's service game, but knows that Stanford has an equally good, if not even better, track record from behind that service line.
Monson digs it out. Gardy goes for the hard swing. Miner chases it down, floats it over the block. Monson passing to the back row attack of Palazzolo, and Stanford with a quick opening 3 points.
And that's Sammy Francis on the solo block, number 17 in black. 5 solo blocks coming in today, so there's number 6, leads the team in that stat. She has more than the rest of her team combined in terms of solo blocks.
Ogilvy floats it across the tape. Trump goes strong on it, but it's off the deflection of Stanford for Notre Dame to get their first point.
Good to get Lucy Trump going. Second straight game, she finds herself in the starting lineup. Lucy Trump Jr. out of Kentucky. Big part of this team 2 years ago as a freshman. A little bit more of a reserved role last year, but getting some good playing time this year and taking advantage of it.
Chader digs it across the net herself. Miner up against the net, and a big swing from Rubin for the point.
Yeah, we get a first look at the dynamic duo for Stanford. Cami Miner to Elia Rubin. 2 amazing players. Rubin with coming into today 4.27 kills a set. That would be first in the ACC last year.
Yeah, and for Rubin, coming off 21 kills against Kentucky in Stanford's last game, a season high for Rubin, and for Notre Dame getting a big point there off a little bit of a miscommunication for Stanford.
Yeah, Chader with a good assist, her first of the game. Good at work by Notre Dame too to identify where the soft spot on the court was in the back right corner and go there for the kill.
Florence, Kentucky native Lucy Trump picks up a service ace, a big one there for Notre Dame. Put themselves 1 point back here in set 1 between Stanford and Notre Dame. Lucy Trump has really come into her own over the last 3 games. Coach Rockwell has talked about her growth, understanding she's been playing some of the best volleyball in her career. Chader will dump it over herself. Miner behind the back, light tap there from Francis. Chader tried to go for the direct kill in the setting position and has it blocked.
Chader tried that play twice in the set, and Stanford was ready both times. Clearly have done their scouting, and when you've got someone across the court from you as good as Fiona Chader is, you have to be prepared. And Ella Sant enters the game for Notre Dame now. Trump takes a rest after a decent service run, and Sant's the other setter for this Notre Dame team. 4 years at St. Mary's and now here with the Irish. So 2 really good setters at Coach Rockwell's disposal.
Rubin floats it into the green and pushes it out of bounds. Notre Dame picks back up a point. Haley Dockery comes in from the bench. Both these 2 teams gonna use the bench a lot. They've got large rosters, and for a large majority of their squads will see the court. Sant digs it out. Monson with the pass up to Palazzolo. Miner set on a hard swing from Kurt. Palazzolo works it through and is able to flirt with the tape to get it tied at 5 apiece.
That's just really good volleyball by both teams, but especially the Fighting Irish. Monson the dig, down in the half splits position. Sant just into the game with the great assist, and Palazzolo, as you mentioned, flirting with the tape right along the line.
Monson gets it to Chader, and Chader with a cross-court kill.
We're seeing Hattie Monson getting involved with the passing a little bit. Of course, with how good Stanford is, it's going to be tough to for Notre Dame to be in system a lot in this game. So if you can get someone like Monson going in an out-of-system point, getting a great pass like that, that's a path to victory for Notre Dame in what will be a very difficult game against, as you see on your screen, number 3 ranked Stanford.
Stanford in system there with the pass from Miner to Francis for the kill. So far here in this first set, going back and forth. Strong serve That goes out of bounds, and it's a service error. 114th of the season for the Stanford Cardinal. They're an aggressive team on the serve, and with it comes a couple errors.
Yeah, they really are. Aggressive is a great word to describe them. They're certainly not afraid, and we get a whistle here, maybe a challenge?
Yeah, Kevin Hambley, the 7th season coach of the Stanford Cardinal, will direct Michael O'Connor over to the monitor to take a look at it. Part of this AVCA official crew. Rob Rodriguez up on the tower today. One that's right at the line, judge coming right at him and splits him in his legs, and it's the question of whether he can get down to look at it right there.
Yeah, it's obviously a tough view and a tough call right along the tape. We certainly didn't know. They called it live, Notre Dame's point. That's, of course, notable. It would have to be conclusive to overturn the call, but right after that ball landed, I look at the teams for the reaction, and it was a much more muted reaction from Notre Dame. And Stanford kind of started to put their hands up again in the huddle as if they thought it was in bounds, and we'll see if the replay officials agree. They're going to go over to the scorers first, and we'll get the call in just a second.
Michael O'Connor.
Stay with Notre Dame.
We'll keep it with Notre Dame there. And
oh, it will not actually stay. Originally, he pointed to the Notre Dame side, but then I guess he forgot that he had turned around or something, but we get another look. The ball.
Yeah, hits the tape right there, right on the white.
Great serve.
In. 7-6 in favor of the Cardinals. Over that quickly to 8-6.
Another strong block. Stanford, one of the areas they've been outplayed this year compared to their opponents is the blocking, but a couple blocks early on today.
Off the top of the tape, Taylor Yu is able to get the point. Stanford right now getting on a service run, on a 3-0 scoring run so far. It's picking it up.
Taylor Yu doing the serving, sorry Jake, but freshman setter, of course, not getting much time in the traditional setting position with Cami Minor, but she has this very powerful jump serve with topspin that's been giving Notre Dame fits right now.
Stanford picks up the point there after too strong of a swing from Fiona Chader. For Yu, averages around 0.25 aces per set, a really strong number for her.
And actually with her 2 on this service run, she's got up to 10 on the year.
Set down quickly on the backside by Minor. And Coach Shalima Rockwell wants to take a timeout to talk things over with her team. Notre Dame finds themselves down 4 to the Stanford Cardinal, who's off to a hot start in their ACC debut.
This is the ACC, where greatness isn't just a goal. It's our relentless.
Pac-12 looking to try and pick one up this year, and they have been one of the best in women's collegiate volleyball.
I think you can just chop out that one of the. I think they are the best program in women's college volleyball, and the numbers speak for themselves. They last won in 2019 and 2018 back-to-back with Coach Hambley at the helm. And you know, players on this team right now, it's the first time since 2016 that no one on the Stanford Cardinal roster has won a national championship during this time. And for them, it's motivation, right? You're brand new conference this year in the ACC. You're looking to prove that you're still one of the best collegiate volleyball teams. And you know, 2019 doesn't sound that long ago, but for how short a college career is, you don't get many opportunities to win. And so these players want it as bad as anyone.
Minor sets it forward. Sant tries to go chase it down. It's unsuccessful. It's a point for the Cardinal to increase their lead to 6 here. And for Notre Dame, understanding they have to stay within themselves. That's what Coach Rockwell echoed to us earlier this week, understanding they have to control their side of the net to have a chance here against Stanford. Stanford's able to pick up the point after the receive error from Notre Dame, and potency that the Cardinal possess. They send back one of their best players in Cami Minor, who had her 7th double-double versus Kentucky last weekend. Sant up to Chader. Chader over the net, pushes it through the block. Notre Dame's breakout star of 2024 continues for Notre Dame.
Yeah, good work by Chader stepping up when her team needed her most. Stanford had been on a pretty great scoring run. This game was 6-6 not too long ago. Obviously now 14-8 in Stanford's favor, but Chader gets the kill and she goes to the service line where she's been excellent, but very aggressive like this Stanford team is Chader, and that one just fades left a little bit.
Chader just pushes it out of bounds, wants that one back. Someone who's been aggressive on the serve so far this year for Notre Dame. Chader leading the way with 16 aces. Chader sets it up to Bjork, and it works. Looked like it was going to be too far out of reach for the freshman, but gets her fingertips on it to push it down.
Yeah, Anna Bjork with the sheepish smile, after that one. Probably not the plan, but you take a point like that when you can, and Chader with the good pass. A little bit high, maybe a little bit of miscommunication between her and Bjork, but a point's a point, so you can't complain it for the Irish.
Sometimes you got to diverge from the plan, Charlie. Can't always stay on script. Palazzolo back to serve. Minor gets it to Rubin. Notre Dame with Gardy through the block. Minor is there to dig it out. Ogilvy gets a good pass and sets the Stanford Cardinal to system to pick up a point.
Yeah, Elena Ogilvy picking up the assist, wearing the white jersey for Stanford. Learning a little bit from Minor, probably. You'd have to imagine there's a lot of communication going on there between the two veterans, and now she goes to the service line.
Chader sets to the back row attack of Palazzolo, kept alive by the Cardinal. Chader behind the back to Trump, off the block, and it's a kill.
That's just great work by the Irish, getting Stanford a little out of system, a little out of sync, and while they were in rhythm, perfect pass, and Trump gets it through the double block, attacking the half of that Stanford block that was a little bit further from the net, and doing so with excellence. She's reading the block a lot better this year, according to Coach Rockwell, and you saw an example of that right there.
Hard swing. Chader behind the back to Palazzolo. Minor laid out for it. Set up for Harvey, and Harvey takes advantage.
I was seeing a little bit of the ability of Cami Minor there, known for her passing, but a great diving dig there to set up that play. And Harvey, a real threat, the opposite hitter, the only opposite hitter in the starting lineup for Stanford on the roster, and she came up with the kill there.
Johnson comes sliding in on a knee. Chader sets it for Trump, and Trump splits the lines. Get a point for Notre Dame.
Another example of Lucy Trump reading the block. Saw it was maybe up a little bit early and goes with the light tap into the gulf of space right there in the middle of the court.
Anna Pringle was on her heels there, trying to figure out whether she was going to dive for one of her teammates. Great swing by Rubin, using the top of the net to her advantage, dying right in front of Notre Dame's captain, Addie Monson.
And one of the reasons there is why Elia Rubin is so talented and why she racks up as many kills as she does. Already leading the way for her team. That was her 4th kill for Elia Rubin, and she was a little bit on her back foot on that play. It wasn't a perfect pass. It was a good pass, but she had to kind of wait for it to get to her and was still able to hit it hard enough to go for the kill.
Up to Gardy. Minor with a strong swing by Kurt. Palazzolo can't chase it down. Ipar Kurt, the redshirt freshman outside hitter, with a laser beam off her fist.
Yeah, Coach Rockwell will use another timeout after Kurt with the kill. Ipar Kurt was a 3-time U18 winner, champion in Turkey. Now, it's hard to win the U18s once when you're 18 years old. So to do it 3 times, she won when she was 15, 16, and 18. So she's playing on the U18 Turkish team at 15 years old. That is pretty special. And you can see an example of why there. She's she's brought in by Coach Kevin Hambley to kind of add a little bit more size on the pins.
Yeah.
Stanford thought they're outmatched size-wise in the outside hitter position, and they bring in Kurt, who's the tallest now of the bunch, and she gets the kill there.
And for the Stanford Cardinal, they have a slew of talent for them, and it really is through the team that they have possessed right now, through 4 honorees, all ACC preseason in their first year in the conference. You look at Sammy Francis, Cami Minor, Ogilvie, Rubin, all these names that are all across that have made impacts already today.
Yeah, these 4 were named to the All-ACC before the season started, and clearly whoever made that decision had done their homework on the new teams coming to the conference, because these 4 are really the core of the Stanford team that's looking to do big things this year. Middle blocker, setter, libero, outside hitter. So it's a balanced team. They're not like really strong in one area, but weak in another. This is a balanced team. This is a talented team. 4 players on one team in a conference with so many teams just speaks to how impressive this roster is for the Cardinal.
Elia Rubin with the serve that gets over and gets the ace for the Cardinal. Put themselves 5 points away from a set 1 victory.
It's 5th ace already for Stanford in the game.
Sant behind the back. Chader has it rejected, but Notre Dame picks up the point. The rejection goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Chader just hitting it hard enough that gets blocked, but goes way out of play, almost near us, a little bit to your left, Jake. And Notre Dame picks up their 12th point. Just missed it. Reached out with the left hand, but couldn't quite get there.
I was ready for it. I was trying to avoid a second knock in the head. I already got one pregame. Monson goes chasing it down. Palazzolo with a strong swing. What a dig by Rubin. Ogilvie gets it to Kurt. Dockery and Monson lay out for it. Palazzolo just pushes it across. Stanford in system. And it'll be a point for Stanford after Ella Sant came across the middle line.
Not sure, they blew the whistle before that kill attempt came. I think maybe 4 touches, maybe both Notre Dame players that laid out for it, maybe they both got hands on, and then there was one more pass and then before the hit over the net. So could be an example of a 4-hit play there. What a block.
Minor tried to dump it over, but Palazzolo was there and has watched the film.
A master of deception, but Sydney Palazzolo's done her homework and gets the solo block perfectly executed, not falling for a Minor, known for her passing, but we'll try that sneaky play every now and then, and Palazzolo was ready.
Minor. The set in motion. Minor sets it down alongside with Lizzie Andrew. Jordan Harvey, sophomore opposite hitter. Serves it across the net. Sant from Chader. Stanford will get it across. Sant once more. Up to Palazzolo. And the Cardinal thought clustered together and couldn't figure out whose ball it was.
This is a tough break for Stanford on that one, but Notre Dame gets the free ball over. They're in system. Setter's choice for Sant, and she chose to go the long way, all the way across. Or perhaps that was Chader or Sant, whoever is doing the setting for Notre Dame, had the choice there and went all the way across and just caught Stanford a little bit off guard.
Chader puts a lot on it there, but has it go out of bounds. Stanford 2 points away from closing out this first set. Trump flat-footed, gets it across. Minor in system to Rubin. Trump with a laser. O.C. Trump leading the way right now with 4 kills for Notre Dame, hitting at a clean percentage.
Yeah, the cleanest percentage of 1,004 kills on 4 tries for number 7. If Notre Dame's going to win this game, they're going to make this upset. They need someone to step up other than Fiona Chader. And right now, it's Lucy Trump with 4 kills already. If they can get her continuing to stay going, also involved there in a block, showing a lot right now for Coach Rockwell.
Monson with the pass up to Gardy. Gardy gets it through the block. And Notre Dame trying to out a little bit of a comeback here. Get back in contention here in this first set. Sydney Palazzolo, transferred 2 years ago from High Point. Huge pickup for Notre Dame and Salima Rockwell. Andrew finds an opening. Stanford now at set point, and for Palazzolo, big pickup, 6 rotation player for Notre Dame. Like Chader, gonna need to lean on her here later in sets. Ogilvy gets it to Monson. Chader behind the back to Trump. Rubin has it blocked with Bjork and Trump. Anna Bjork, the freshman middle blocker. Coach Rockwell told us earlier this week, she'll be the freshman of the week sometime. It's just a question of when. Hitting at one of the best percentages in the ACC at .438 on the attack. And with the service error there for Notre Dame, that will do it from volleyball. And retired from coaching, took into the broadcast arena, then got the call from Notre Dame, and it's been a perfect fit for her so far in her tenure as Chader launches one that Pringle's able to dig out, and the Stanford Cardinals able to work it through the block of Notre Dame.
Yeah, Stanford jumps out to the early lead in this set. That's a point that Notre Dame will want to have back, getting Stanford out of system right away, right out of the gates, but the block just goes out of bounds, and Stanford catches a break, and this team doesn't need to catch that many breaks to be successful, but they get one there, and now it's 1-1 after the serve goes out of bounds. 5 aces for Stanford in that first set. See if Notre Dame can receive a little bit better, try to take some of those aces away, make it a more competitive set too.
Now 1-1 ball game here after the mistake from Stanford. Rubin makes quick work of that tie. She's able to rotate it off the block, have it go out of bounds. Ogilvy, 5th-year libero, goes to the service line. Coach Hambly talks about Ogilvy as being everything you want in a libero. Athletic and has great communication for her squad. The point for Stanford. Notre Dame once again cannot get it in bounds.
Yeah, Ogilvy, you get a look at her there, someone who has aspirations beyond just this grad season here at Stanford and has the resume to prove it. She's represented USA internationally. She's a very talented libero. She's very good also at keeping herself motivated and keeping others motivated. Coach Hambly was telling us how earlier this week she was in the gym for 30 extra minutes working on passing while moving, and he said, quote, he loves having players who are wired that way.
Ogilvy, one of the top in the Pac-12, comes into the ACC, and so far through the Stanford Cardinals' young career in the ACC, looking like she could be the setter of the year for the ACC. Ogilvy on a 4-0 scoring run for Stanford. Sant passes up to Palazzolo, and whistle comes as Monson dug it out thinking it was the block, but it was rather the net. And it will be a timeout for Salima Rockwell. Unpleased what she's seen from her Notre Dame squad. She wants to talk with them, with the Stanford Cardinal keeping their foot on the gas here in set 2.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our...
Stanford Cardinal putting on a show right now. They lead by 5 points over Notre Dame. Notre Dame's gonna need, before shown, Fiona Chader to really get going here in this second set, with Ogilvy on the service line. Chader with a hard swing, and Notre Dame's able to get the leader in the nation in triple doubles with 5. A big point there, and get her to the service line to try and build some momentum.
Yeah, this serve needs to be in bounds for Fiona Chader. She's already had 2 service errors in the game. She's very aggressive with that jump serve, but has been going out of bounds. That one, though, a good serve, and got Stanford a little out of system.
Chader sets to Bjork, and Bjork takes advantage. And Anna Bjork continues to be impressive on 2 total attacks, 2 kills, hitting at a 1,000 percentage.
Yeah, she came in hitting .438, most on the Irish, and or I should say highest on the Irish. She's very efficient, very deceptive from the middle of the court.
Monson behind the back to the back row attack of Palazzolo, who sneaks it into a corner, and the timeout was well worth it for Salema Rockwell's squad. As dug in the 5-point lead, they now only trail by 2.
I'll get another look at that latest kill from Palazzolo, perfectly placed. You mentioned, Jake, in set 1, she's a 5-6 position. She's a 6 rotation player. She could do it from the front. She could do it from the back, as you saw there. She can do it from the sides, and we saw her get that solo block in the first set. She can do it from the middle. She's a really valuable piece for this Notre Dame team.
Averages 3.26 kills per set. Palazzolo has 3 so far on the evening. Palazzolo looking for a kill there, but it's the block of the Stanford Cardinal to respond.
And for Stanford, Sammy Francis in there on the block. Also looked like Rubin in there on the block as well, 2 very talented players, and Palazzolo really tough to find a hole there, and just perfectly executed by Stanford, who again is not known for their blocking. They do a lot of things great, but they're getting outblocked by their opponents coming into the game 72.5 to 52. So really not a strength of this team, which is kind of surprising because you've got some good height in the middle. 6'6" Sammy Francis and 6'5" Lizzie Andrew, but a little bit shorter on the outside. And that's perhaps one of the reasons that ball hit the scoreboard.
That one going off the video board, and it's in play with it above. And Cindy Palazzolo just couldn't read it off the deflection.
It's a tough break for the Irish. That was a good dig on a good offensive attack from Stanford, but it goes to waste because it hits the scoreboard and takes a funny bounce.
Strong swing from Bjork, looking for a tip that's not there. And a point that goes the Stanford Cardinals' way.
Get another look at that last kill attempt. Just a little long off the fist of Anna Bjork. A rare mistake from her.
Chader behind the back to Trump, and Trump off the block. And Lucy Trump continues a hot night. 6 total attacks, 5 kills. Junior from Florence, Kentucky, really showing everything she has in her toolbox.
Get her the ball more, huh?
Playing well with the light shining bright. Stanford playing consistent volleyball, not allowing Notre Dame to really get their feet under them and try and move through a scoring run.
Yeah, it's tough to get them out of system even when Notre Dame is serving. They're so consistent. They are so not prone to receiving errors are the Cardinal, and right there, get a point for the Irish.
Yeah, a lift called there against Stanford. Notre Dame gets the point. Then back to the serving line with the before-mentioned Lucy Trump. One of 6 children, Trump is. Got a full side of volleyball that she can play with all of her siblings. Trump tried to work it through, just attacks too low and heads into the net.
Now she'll exit Lucy Trump, someone who's definitely more effective from closer to the net there. She tried a back row attack, only 6 foot tall, so not known for her height. Very smart player though, and when she's playing with confidence, she really is a force to be reckoned with, and tonight she can feel it. So they're even getting her that ball when it's behind, when she's in the back and from behind the line, and didn't work out there, but you know, got to feed the hot hand if you're Notre Dame. Got to try to find something. They have not led in this game since early on in the first set. They maybe had like a 3-2 lead.
Cami Minor serves it into the net there. Kaylee Dockery into serve. Floater that goes out of bounds. And Coach Rockwell was thinking about whether she wants to go for the challenge card. And it will be called upon. She'll go to the green card and send Michael O'Connor to the monitor to take a look at it. Part of the 2-challenge system that's in collegiate volleyball at the NCAA level. Both coaches getting 2 challenges. If you win it, you keep it. If you lose it, you lose it. You do get 1 back if you go to a 5th set. You can't go over 2 though. As O'Connor is taking a look at the monitor, fans in Purcell Arena taking a look at it right now off the video board, calling for the change, and it's going to be a quick monitor look for Michael O'Connor.
And one thing about this play is the official was right there, and they will overturn it. Wow. So Notre Dame picks up the point, an ace for Kaylee Dockery, who's really a service specialist, and that was placed perfectly. You can see the official is right there. That's obviously a very tough call, even with our great replay work. Slowing it down, that was extremely close.
Left over the middle. That's a regret if it's going to Grace Langer. A high school ABCA All-American honorable mention. Has fit so well to Notre Dame. Been great on the block. Freshman that's contributed a bunch along with Bjork. Langer there just pushes it over. Ogilvy quickly dug out by Notre Dame. Ogilvy with the great dig. Push set. And it goes Notre Dame's way.
I am surprised that Coach Hambly's not calling timeout right now. He still has 2 in his back pocket. You can feel the momentum starting to turn, and it's a good service run for Notre Dame right now. They're looking to keep it going.
3-0 scoring run, but that's going to be stopped right here with a hard kill from Lizzie Andrew, the freshman. Washington's Offensive Player of the Year last year. Gold medalist with the U.S. Pan Am team. Service error that Notre Dame's able to capitalize on. Momentum fully on the Fighting Irish side for maybe the first time today. It sends their libero, Hattie Monson, back. Monson earlier this week named one of the captains along with Ella Sant. Minor behind the back. Great attack from Harvey. Notre Dame in system, the Palazzolo, who's flat-footed. Great dig by Minor, but it doesn't matter with a ball left over the middle. Bjork's able to capitalize.
Yeah, Hattie Monson, you were just talking about her 2 digs on that point, and it's going to be Notre Dame's Anna Bjork that gets the kill. You can really, the crowd is desperate to get involved here, and finally they're getting an opportunity to on this good run by the Irish. It's a pretty full house here at Purcell Pavilion, so just trying to get the crowd involved is Notre Dame, and if they can, home court advantage is a real big thing.
Part of the Duncan student section right there. A dormitory on Notre Dame's campus. Big supporters of Notre Dame volleyball, packing in and creating some loud environments here in Purcell Pavilion. Strong work there by Sammy Francis that Hattie Monson can't corral. And home football weekend here on the campus of Notre Dame, and place is packed in tonight. See one of the best in the country do battle against the Fighting Irish. Ogilvy gets it across the net. Palazzolo behind after too hard of a set. Harvey tries to flirt with the tape, and it goes out of bounds, and Notre Dame's able to pick up the point.
I think Jordan Harvey just mishit that one. It looked like a pretty decent setup, but just didn't get the center of her hand on it. Looked like maybe went off her pinky finger or her ring finger and deflected way sideways. So kind of shocking to see such a talented player miss by that much. And Chader has tied the game. That is the serve that Notre Dame needs from her in this game.
Fiona Chader with a service ace there, and now talked about Notre Dame wanting to get the environment on their side, and they clearly have. Minor gets a set. Palazzolo is able to dig it. Trump off the fingertips of Francis gets Notre Dame a lead, and it will be a timeout for Kevin Hambly and his squad with the Fighting Irish rolling. Really leaned on Trump and Chader so far. Trump hitting .500 for Chader hitting at 0 with 4 kills on 13 attacks. And for Notre Dame, they've welcomed in a whole bunch of freshmen here that have really taken that next step. And part of it has been the veteran experience leading them forward, but it's this last point that really shows how much depth Notre Dame has to be able to really move everybody along.
Yeah, the Fighting Irish have done a great job this year meshing veterans with youth, and they have a really strong recruiting class, number 2 in the ACC. In this current freshman class, number 13, I believe, overall in the country. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the vets don't mesh well with the rookies, but this time for Notre Dame, it's been a good start for them. You could see them starting to come together as a group, and especially in this set, we're seeing Anna Bjork take a step forward. We're seeing, excuse me, we're seeing Fiona Chader, one of the vets, get going a little bit. You see Coach Rockwell give encouragement to her star player. Notre Dame, this is their first lead since 6-5 in the first set. And that's what caused the timeout, and you could feel the crowd starting to get involved. Again, this is an electric campus. This is Notre Dame. This is Irish Wear Green weekend. Men's soccer tonight wearing green. Football tomorrow wearing green. Volleyball tonight in green. I'm in green. Fans are in green. It's a great weekend of Notre Dame.
Chader serving now, and it's too strong. Hambly's squad gets tied back up with Notre Dame. And Anna Pringle had to talk to her libero and Ogilvy. The communication on their attack, but service error from Harvey. And Notre Dame has the pendulum swing back their way.
The conversation between Hambly and Harvey, I think more of the talk there is, you know, Harvey's only a sophomore. Maybe you're seeing your team is reeling a little bit. That's not a good time for a service error. Maybe asking her young superstar player to be a little bit more conservative in a situation like that, not wanting to give the momentum right back to Notre Dame.
Don't worry about it, though. Elia Rubin with a strong kill. Gets it back tied. Already through the block. Walk attempted to set it down. Trump and Bjork combine on the far side pin. Really, Notre Dame has come into their own here, showing they can hang with the Stanford Cardinal. Bjork, a middle blocker. That can serve, has great pace to it. Zips right across the net. And there it zips off Sammy Francis's fist for the kill.
Could barely see that one. That had so much heat on it and perfectly placed between the Notre Dame defenders on the back line. Finds the hard word just in front of the tape and just perfectly executed from Francis.
Chader chases it down. Palazzolo from the back row. Minor behind the back. Andrew in motion. Trump puts too much on it. For both these teams, it's been the little miscues that have allowed both sides to really increase their lead or get a lead. Yu comes in, Monson goes digging for it and can't receive the serve.
Yeah, that's Taylor Yu back there again, serving for this Cardinal team. She had 2 or 3 aces in the first set too, so that's her 3rd of the game. And there's one of those miscues though, right after the ace, the error. So tale of double-edged sword, if you will, for this Stanford Cardinal team in the second set, letting Notre Dame hang around, making a lot of unforced errors.
We see Trump now to serve. Minor, back row attack, that's rejected at the net. Minor. And Notre Dame, and a miscommunication there. Chader was set back to go for the attack. Langer was there. They thought she was going to get a pass there, and Coach Rockwell not happy there.
That's the first time we've seen Minor, though, go to the back line in this game. One of the first times, if not the first. And Notre Dame was ready, got the block, and then got in system, but a little bit of miscommunication and a break for the Cardinal. They will absolutely take it.
Sant behind the back, up to Gardy. Over by the scoring table is Kurt. But the Cardinal can't get it back across the net.
That would have been a crazy pass. Reaching over the scorer's table, basically at the very edge of where she is legally allowed to go and hit the ball, and just couldn't find a teammate after the fact. But good effort from Kurt.
Minor up to Kurt. Off the block. Sant with the pass to Chader. And Rubin gets a fingertip on it, but can't corral it. And it's a tied set 2 here at 21. It's a Notre Dame team that's shown flashes throughout the non-conference slate that they can be something in the ACC. Them picking up set win against 3rd-ranked team in the country would be huge. But Harvey's going to have something to say about it there. And the Cardinal 3 away.
This has been a fun set to watch, hasn't it, Jake? Just back and forth action. A couple miscues by both teams here and there, but also some great plays by the offenses. Just back and forth they go.
Sant with the pass, that's pushed over. Dockery goes digging for it. Palazzolo from the flat foot has it blocked, gets it rejected, and finally gets it across. Ogilvy to Rubin. Monson gets a forearm on it. Sant's gonna pass it. Palazzolo will get it to Minor. And it's over the net, and it's a point for Notre Dame. Notre Dame out of system for a majority of that volley, finds a way to walk away with a point.
Yeah, just great perseverance, not giving up on the play. 22-all is a lot different than 23-21, as each point is even more important than the next as we get later and later. It's crucial second set.
Palazzolo is able to get the deflection and sneak it across, and it will be a timeout for Kevin Hambly. Notre Dame in the driver's seat here in this second set. They're up 1, and the smiles and jubilation go into the huddle for Notre Dame. Understanding that they're not out of the dogfight here in this second set. They do have to still take on the 3rd-ranked Stanford Cardinal, which has shown glimpses that they can put it together really quickly.
Yeah, Stanford with so much talent on the floor, at any moment's notice, at the snap of a finger, can just all of a sudden start taking control of this game. But right now it's Notre Dame who are doing enough, making enough plays on defense, doing just enough on offense, getting a little help from some errors from Stanford, especially service errors, and putting themselves in a position to try to win this very close second set. I'm a firm believer that if you're an underdog in a game, you have to win the close ones, right? And that first set wasn't very close. Stanford was in control for most of that, and this one is super close. And if Notre Dame can come away with a win, they're right back in this game.
Yeah, and the big reason why is Sydney Palazzolo, the senior outside hitter, really has put together a very strong season. Can make a kill from anywhere on the court, as well as the service line with an ace.
Yeah, last year, 2nd in the ACC in kills per set, and this year at around that same number as well, just above 3. And 111 in total on the season, as well as 11 aces. So a lot of ones on the board for number 12. She's a 6 rotation player. There's a big sign right above one of the scoreboards with Go 12. And she has been an impact player for now a year plus for this Notre Dame team.
Meyer gets it over to Rubin, but it's rejected. And Notre Dame is at set point. Michael O'Connor, an official, going to talk to Notre Dame's bench, who's feeling it themselves. Rubin, strong swing. Sant tried to get to the ground. Stanford Cardinal pick up the point. Notre Dame still within set point. It is a win by 2 scenario. If Stanford was able to pick up this point, Ogilvy, the libero, gets it across. No, she doesn't. It goes off the net, and Notre Dame picks up.
About their aggression, but they were too aggressive in that set, making too many errors, giving Notre Dame momentum when they had no business having it.
Miner gets it to Rubin. Dockery. Palazzolo. Can't get it into bounds there. Stanford picks up a point. Ogilvy to serve for Stanford. Ogilvy, volleyball in her blood. Her sister Anna playing for Army a little bit ago as Ogilvy tries to dig it out. And Notre Dame picks up their first point of the 3rd set.
And it's Sydney Palazzolo on the kill, overpowering the back line of the Cardinal, as that dig attempt just went a little bit too far. We saw in the 2nd set, Ipar Kurt kind of reach over the scorer's table to keep a point alive, but that time Stanford was unable to do the same, as Palazzolo just hit it too hard, and it went too far out of reach for Notre Dame's only point of this 2nd set, as we see Cardinal get back in system right there.
Able to send one of their best servers in Jordan Harvey. Can't get it there, and serves it into the net. Notre Dame picks back up another point.
They call that the announcer's jinx, Jacob. And you were a prime victim of it there. That was, as they call, bad timing.
Can never walk away from the bad timing, Charlie, sadly.
We're never going to escape the jinx either.
No, we will not. As Chader sends one into the net herself there that time. Didn't jinx it there.
Yep, can't blame us that time.
As Stanford back to the service line. Rubin, a standout for Stanford with 8 kills so far on tonight's contest. The floating serve. Chader behind the back. Palazzolo has it blocked by Ipar Kurt. Spent last year redshirting and has come in ready for her debut.
Yeah, good work by Kurt to take away the near side, down the strong side for Palazzolo where she was looking.
Trump just puts too much on it there and goes out of bounds. Stanford Cardinal team that, like Notre Dame, has a lot of a mix with experience along with a lot of star-studded recruits and freshmen. Something that Coach Hembley echoed to us earlier this week. Francis, one of the experienced players, senior, that's able to get the point there, and seeing how they gel, and one of the better teams that he's had to gel together.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of experience currently on the bench. Most of their starters are seniors or grad students, and again, you never know how a team is going to gel. We talked about it with Notre Dame. How would they gel? Similar situation for Stanford. Certainly both coaches, when we talked to them before this match, mentioned how that process works between, class of 2028 and class of 2025, or and how that dynamic works. And both teams have to be satisfied so far. It's a combined record of 15-3 speaks volumes of how well these two teams have managed to bond together, the youngs and the old ones. And, you know, I say young and old. They're only separated by 2 or 3 years, 4 at most, but you get the point.
Palazzolo has it go out of bounds. Now play that's under review. Sending Michael O'Connor back to the monitor for the 3rd time today. 3rd challenge he will go look at and assess whether it was inbounds or not.
The first 2 challenges so far successful, won by both coaches, I should say. So both teams still with 2 challenges. Notre Dame, knowing that, is going to use one of them here. Coach Rockwell thinking that may have hit the line. And funny enough, all 3 challenges in this game, I believe, Jake, have been on serves, which you don't see every day. But with these 2 teams being so aggressive from the service line, they're bound to try to get it around the edges. So we get another look at that serve from Palazzolo. That's really close. But we got another quick decision, as Michael O'Connor has made his decision. He's going to keep it with Stanford. So the first unsuccessful challenge of the day for either team. You don't fault the thought there, Jake? You think it's too early in this set to try that? Or like, what do you think?
I think, why not? Go for it. It's been successful the past 2 times that it was tried. And it was a close one like we saw right there. Just a matter of inches. So who comes in to serve? Trump gets it across, but Notre Dame can't get it back over the net. Now Stanford increasing their lead. Only by 5 here. Palazzolo digs it out. Gardy with the swing. Bevan gets it across. Kurt has it rejected. Minor close to the net. Has it blocked by Trump.
Trump built a wall at the net on that point. 2 blocks for her, including this one off her left arm, and just lands on the hardwood. Nothing Stanford can do about that one. She is having a great game, a big-time performer right now, and that was a huge point. You never know. It's still early in this set. Notre Dame down by 4, but giving themselves a chance, and now only down 3 is kill there for Morgan Gardy. We'd like to see her get going, Jake, if you're Notre Dame.
Yeah, the freshman outside hitter from Angola, Indiana, which is around an hour and 15-minute drive. One of the top recruits in the country, Gardy was. The number 5 player by Volleyball Magazine, and a big pickup for Salima Rockwell, understanding that when you get a good recruit, other recruits follow. For Notre Dame, they're looking to build on this freshman class and create some program-defining moments. And one of them is Anna Bjork, another freshman that has been a heavy contributor for this Notre Dame squad. Bjork serves it out of bounds. Turn it back over to Stanford. Father Harrow was an All-American basketball player at USC. Trump gets it across for Notre Dame. Minor setting the middle, and Andrew. And Andrew makes no mistake about it.
Yeah, just got it between the block attempt from Grace Langer and the net. We'll get another look. Low pass from Cami Minor, perfectly executed, as per usual from her, so reliable.
Trump looking for a tip that's not there. A miscue from the Irish puts the senior setter to the line. There will be a timeout on the floor here. It's the Stanford Cardinal leading the way, 11-6 here in set 3.
Okay, trainees, let's work on our fast and friendly claim service.
Eyes on the phone now.
Here in this third set, Notre Dame was able to capture the second set, 25-23. Notre Dame trying to claw their way back. Gardy off the block. Ogilvy's there to dig it out. Gardy once more has it rejected at the net. Minor. Langer gets it across on her own. Palazzolo was there. Monson passes it up to Gardy, up against the net, and she comes in contact with it. Stanford will pick up a point. Just a pass from Monson that led Gardy too close.
Yeah, that point felt like it was on repeat 4 straight times. It was Monson to Gardy, which is an interesting combo considering Monson is supposed to be the libero, not really supposed to be the one making the second touch, but Notre Dame a little bit out of sync and just doing what they can, trying to go to Gardy a bunch. And finally, at the last time, after 3 half blocks, half digs from Stanford, it was Gardy in contact with the net. Monson again, the second touch.
Notre Dame's able to pick up the point off the block deflection that goes out of bounds. Now she trumped to serve. Minor has it set to Kurt, and Kurt is able to work it off a deflection. It's a 7-point lead for the Cardinal.
I couldn't tell who that deflected off of for Notre Dame, but no argument from them. Tough to tell with how fast Stanford hits it. Hard to see that deflection, but no disagreement between any of the officials or Notre Dame.
And a Pringle with the serve that goes out of bounds there for Stanford. Kaylee Dockery will come back in for Notre Dame. No team so far has separated themselves here in set 3. It's been a lot of back and forth. It's just been Stanford Cardinal winning more points than less. Monson gets it up to Chader. That goes against the block. And a crazy point goes Notre Dame's way.
And they're doing a good job when they're out of system. And they've been out of system a lot, it feels like, in this game. Give credit to Stanford for causing that, but can see just why Notre Dame has been successful this year is they don't need to be rigid to win points. We're seeing that, their ability to win in different ways, win with Monson as the setter, not the setter, but the one with the pass, win with Sant as the pass, win with Gardy, Palazzolo, Trump, Chader, whoever is the main attacking option. They're just finding a way. And this set, Stanford, it feels like they've been in control, but here comes Notre Dame, only down 4 now.
Notre Dame building themselves a scoring run of 3 right now. Rubin is going to quickly erase that again. And just any time Notre Dame starts to build on some momentum, it's Elio Rubin who enters the conversation. And for Rubin, comes in 3rd in the ACC in points per set at 4.8. Langer has it rejected at the net. Palazzolo back through. Dockery's able to dig it. Sant gets it across. The Cardinal able to get in system, but it's a block from Chader that goes out of bounds.
Oh, we'll get another look. Cross-court pass from Minor, and Chader does a good job to get her hand on that hit attempt, but unfortunately for her, it goes out of bounds, and Stanford will pick up the point. Just when Notre Dame was starting to get going, Stanford with 2 quick points with their libero, Lena Ogilvy, back serving. She has struggled a little bit with the serve in this game, but on a good run right now.
Up against the net, Sant brings it back, but she reached over the net. Ogilvy now to serve, and it will be a timeout for Coach Rockwell and her squad. And for Stanford, they're a team that brings a lot to the table into the ACC. You look at their championship pedigree, 9 national championships, 17 championship appearances, 23 Final Four appearances, 138, NCAA tournament matches, all leading the way at collegiate volleyball levels. And then also, you have these conversations about what Stanford brings in.
Yeah, it's a big addition to the ACC. And the ACC went from one of the best to one of the best plus Stanford, right? So now they're really in conversation. Both coaches before the game seemed to imply that they thought it was the best. Obviously, lots of good conferences at the volleyball level, but I think the numbers speak for themselves for Stanford. What sticks out to me the most on that graph is 23 times they've been to the Final Four, and only 6 times have they not made it to the national championship. That's a pretty good record when it gets down to the nitty-gritty. Coach Hambly was talking to us before the game about kind of the Elite Eight, the Final Four, like how many games can Stanford host? They schedule this really tough preseason. They moved to the ACC to be in a really good conference. They hope to host 4 playoff games in every single NCAA tournament, and with the way they're going right now, it certainly seems like it's a possibility again this year.
Sant behind the back to Chader. Schrader's able to get a shoulder on it, but Notre Dame can't get it back across the net. Cardinal up 8 right now in firm control with Ogilvy back. Ogilvy with a float. Monson comes in sliding. It's up to Palazzolo, has it rejected. Monson was there on a knee. Notre Dame with the point off the deflection.
Yeah, Chader on her back foot. Good pass from Sant, just a little bit behind her, but she finds a way to get it close enough to the net that it goes off the top of the block and out of bounds. And a break for the Irish. They needed that one. They were reeling a bit, but let's see if they can build off of that. But tough to do when you're against Aaliyah Rubin.
Aaliyah Rubin makes quick work of it. And comes from an athletic family. Her father, Justin, played football at Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts. Brother Luca played baseball at the D3 powerhouse Babson. It was a tough conference for them. It's Notre Dame able to get a point there. The Irish trying to swing the pendulum back to their side and get their fans back in it.
Yeah, we saw in the first set, which Stanford largely controlled, Notre Dame put something together a little bit at the end to make the score a little bit more respectable, and it paid off. They came out in that second set feeling a little bit better about themselves and won that set, right? A very close set, and this set's kind of giving me the same vibes. It's like Stanford's been in control. They're in all likelihood probably going to win this set, barring a big comeback from Notre Dame. But if the Irish can kind of build something, get that score up to 18-19 before Stanford gets to 25, it makes set 4 seem a lot more realistic for them. It's mentally not insignificant for Notre Dame to make this third set closer, even if they don't come away with the miraculous win.
Michael O'Connor, the downward official, gets back over to the monitor to look at things after the challenge card gets held by Kevin Hambly. Taking a look, zooming in, using all aspects of DV Sport to his advantage.
Yeah, watching it live, it looked out. It was right by us. We finally had a good view at one that they're challenging, but of course it's moving so fast, and I'm no referee, so we'll have to see what the final call is. But You know, with 2 challenges still remaining in this third set winding down, you never know. We'll get another look. Well, it's closer to being in than I thought, that's for sure.
Point will stay Notre Dame's way.
I knew it all along.
Oh, man. Got good eyes, Charlie. Got good eyes.
You know, when you make a prediction like that, you have a 50% chance to be right, even if you're a blind man, so.
Chader gets it over. Minor behind the back. Gets it to Francis and is able to rocket it through a block. Minor just showing off all her skill sets. How she can be anywhere on the court to give a crisp pass and set to this Cardinal front row. And it's service errors like that, Charlie, that's keeping Notre Dame around here in this third set.
Yeah, but it's been less obvious, I think, in this third set. Stanford has cleaned it up, and that's why they have a 6-point lead. Notre Dame was taking advantage of plenty of Cardinal service errors in the second set. And there was one just there letting Notre Dame get to 14, but you're seeing that they're making a conscious effort to be better from the service line, are the Cardinal, and you could, it's working, right? Up 7 points and just about to put this third set away.
Cameron Francis with the great kill there. You serves, and Morgan Gardy with a great kill for herself. Notre Dame creating their own offense. Well placed kill, and York was set to serve. Macy Alexander comes in to serve. Light serve. And it is pushed too far by Andrew. And Notre Dame picks up the point with Macy Alexander, the junior from Portland, Oregon. It's their specialty for serving for Notre Dame. Can't get it across the net there. The Cardinal 3 points away from capturing their second set.
It'll be Cami Minor going back to serve 2 times. She was the Pac-12 Setter of the Year, 2022, 2023. There's only one reason she can't win it in 2024, and that's because she's now in the ACC with her team. So looking to try to win that one. You mentioned Pitt's got a pretty good setter over there, the #1 team in the country. So that's, and Chader as well for Notre Dame, 5 triple-doubles. So 3 great setters in the ACC. But Cami Minor, you still have to think, is one of the favorites to win that one.
And Notre Dame picks up a point there off of Lucy Trump. Trump's had a major impact today for the Fighting Irish. Levy. Langer tries to push it forward. It goes out of bounds. And Coach Rockwell signaling to her team to stay calm here.
Yeah, sorry, just some miscommunication there as low pass, but Irish were not ready for it, and that caused that to go long. Just long, by the way, almost a great recovery.
Light tap over, great play by Rubin. Rubin leading the way between both teams with 12 kills. And now the Cardinal, 1 point away, capturing the second set. That tracks it down. Chader with a hard attack that goes back across, and Gardy is able to split the back row. Notre Dame picks up a point.
Yeah, we're seeing Notre Dame really make a concerted effort to get Morgan Gardy more involved. Picks up her 6th kill on 15 attempts, now leading the team with that .333 hitting percentage. They've really gone to her in this third set. She was very quiet through 2, but if they can get her going, that's a big deal for Notre Dame, especially now down 2-1, that they're going to need a big win in this 4th set to stay in this match. 7-2 record, and they're playing Stanford tough. If they could find a way to make this 4th set competitive, you win a close one, you never know, Jake, but obviously Stanford a very tough team to do that against.
Notre Dame's back up against the wall here. Stanford in the driver's seat with 2 sets. Notre Dame's gonna have to try and work some magic, but it's Rubin working her magic to open up the scoring for the Cardinal.
Yeah, Rubin the great kill, but that's really Cami Minor's excellent vision. Read where Notre Dame's block was and picked where it wasn't and went across the court right along the net. Just an absolutely perfect pass for one of the best setters in the entire country.
Palazzolo gets it across. Minor goes chasing it down. Ogilvy allows Notre Dame to get into system. Chader with a strong whip of an arm gets the Irish their first point of this 4th set.
Yeah, Chader is dangerous, especially when Notre Dame's in system, as you were mentioning, Jake, and they get the free ball over and take great advantage of that. Sant with the pass and Chader with the very strong kill.
Harvey is able to find the donut in the Notre Dame defense.
Jordan Harvey, 5 in black, a little quiet today. That is her 5th kill though, so if it's a quiet game, you got 5 kills. I mean, life could be worse, right?
Ogilvy can't get it across the net. And Notre Dame and Stanford back tied at 2. That's the 12th service error of the day for Stanford. Notre Dame has 9. Their Achilles heel so far. Great dig by Monson that goes back across Minor. Gets it up to Francis, who makes no mistake about it.
Yeah, it's just Stanford showing why they're number 3. Setting up the offense perfectly. Again, Minor across the court. Great pass. Good dig from Monson, but unfortunately for her, it goes over the net and becomes a free ball. And Stanford's not going to mess up too many free balls like many good teams don't.
Bevan gets it across. Bjork off balance. Minor now gets it to Francis once more. Trump off the block. And Francis is able to find an opening on the hardwood.
Just a perfectly executed block from Stanford. You like Trump in that position. On her offside technically, but a lot of room to go with her right arm on the inside, but just a perfect block and finds the hardwood.
Trump pushes it across. Minor up to Francis. Sees an opening with Palazzolo trying to get down to the court level. Now for Notre Dame, they have to try and make a stop here. The Cardinal on a 3-0 scoring run. So they lead by 3.
Yeah, with Taylor Bevan in there, the senior from Missouri, on the service line. It's been a good service run for Stanford. Another good serve just over the net.
Trump through the block. And Lucy Trump continues to be unfazed with the block.
Yeah, her strength this game has been getting it through the block, whether that's through the hands or between the hands and the net. And another example of it there, just doing enough to get the kill for Notre Dame. And first ace since the first set, and it's Palazzolo who does it.
Cindy Palazzolo, second on the team, coming into today with 11 aces. Picks up her first of the evening to move her to season total of 12, make it 13. Uses the top of the net to her advantage, catching the Cardinal out of system. And just like that, Notre Dame back tied with Stanford.
I do not know how that ball got over the net. It must have been a draft of wind for just a second there inside Purcell Pavilion. It rode the top and had enough spin to get over the net. So 2 aces for Palazzolo. She makes the error there, but got to be happy with that service run if you're Notre Dame picking up 3 points on it.
Got yourselves back tied with Stanford. Cardinal trying to insert themselves into the conversation. Minor out to Francis, and Monson can't get down to dig it out.
And just so many weapons for the Stanford team. One of the reasons why Cami Minor is able to be as effective as she is because she could go to the back line, behind her back, to the far side, and no matter where she goes, she's giving it to someone talented, right? This is a team Stanford team that lost a superstar. Kendall Kipp was a really good player for the Stanford team, won the national championship in 2019 as a freshman, big-time contributor the last few years, and how are they gonna replace her? Well, they're doing it with a lot of balance throughout this lineup.
Minor, high in the back, Francis taps it. Off the block. Stanford's able to pick up the point after Notre Dame comes in contact with the net. Now Yu comes in to serve. Palazzolo receives it. Can't get it going in the right direction.
Yeah, Palazzolo leading Notre Dame, unfortunately for her, in reception errors this year, and Yu leading this game in aces. We'll see if she continues to target her. She doesn't. Interesting.
Gardy, what a swing by the freshman. Too far of a reach for Kurt. Just a long pass. That led Kurt too far. Palazzolo with the floater over. Minor gets it up to Ogleve, and it's a strong swing by Kurt.
Yeah, just out of the reach of Trump off the block. Stanford's doing what they do. They're winning enough points to maintain a lead. They've been in the lead for about 90% of this match, it certainly feels like. And really, set two was the only set where Notre Dame had a lead at 2 different points in the game. So it just goes to show Stanford starts sets quick and stays in the driver's seat for the most part.
What a pancake from Monson, but Chader has too much time and can't get a swing across. Okay, Minor serves it out of bounds. Turns the service to Notre Dame.
And just maybe the break the Irish need. Certainly, if you're Stanford, you didn't want to see that happen, especially with how many service errors they're making. But now you got Dockery serving for Notre Dame, service specialist. And that's why picks up the ace. She's in there for this. This is definitely her strength, and we're seeing why. Only Notre Dame player right now with multiple aces in the game. Actually, Palazzolo has 2. My apologies, but Dockery in there for the serve and doing it with the serve.
Minor with a great set to Andrew. Pushing it to the left.
Yeah, one-handed set. You don't see that every day, but she's an athlete, and she makes an athletic play there, improvising with what she's working with, and turns into a great pass.
Santa Palazzolo. Once more, the Cardinal set up their attack. Coach Salima Rockwell quickly goes to the challenge card looking for the deflection. To our naked eye, it looked like there was a little bit of a deflection there.
Certainly did.
Michael O'Connor will go back once more to the monitor, puts on the glasses.
Right away, all 6 players on the court for Notre Dame and many on the bench as well signaled that they thought that was tipped. Rockwell, usually she's a coach who usually consults her players before going to that green card. She trusts her players a lot. You know, asking them, oh, was that in? Was that out? Was that tipped? Did you touch the net? Whatever the relevant question is, but that time, the millisecond that the referees pointed to the Stanford side, she turned around and grabbed that green card. Basically no delay. Again, quick review once again, and it was tipped, as Jake and we predicted, and sometime that's two in a row, Jake.
That's a percentage I don't know if we can keep up with. And you take a look there on our net cam, you're looking for the change or the spinning direction of the lines in the ball. I know it's a blur, but you can see it coming off the finger. It changes direction. You look for the pushed back fingers and fingertips, and it looks right there, as it has Notre Dame at 10 points for Stanford's 12. Block put up by the Irish, can't get in bounds. The Cardinal pick back up a point. Ogilvie, the Honolulu, Hawaii native. The light serve that goes to Palazzolo. And Palazzolo finds an opening.
Yeah, Palazzolo this year has struggled a little bit with her efficiency, but as we saw a little bit earlier in the game, came in with 111 kills on the year, now tied for the team lead tonight with 9. And she's someone who Notre Dame relies upon a lot. She often will lead the team in attempts. She does again tonight with 34 attempts. She is, again, not hitting the most efficiently, hitting at 0.59, a pretty low mark, but you got to give some credit to the Stanford defense for that as well. They're really tough to get it through. We've seen Notre Dame as a team struggle tonight.
Bevan serves it across. Palazzolo loads up and fires.
The first Notre Dame player in double-digit kills now is Palazzolo, and that's a big one. 2 in a row for her, starting to get it past the block. Give credit to Chader there, the quick set, not letting the Stanford block get coordinated, and Palazzolo took advantage.
Minor up to Rubin. Monson is able to keep it alive. Trump has it rejected by Francis, and that takes us to immediate timeout. Stanford Cardinal and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish going back-to-back here in this 4th set here in South Bend.
The worst part about being a caveman is the upkeep. I'm a
back Stanford and Notre Dame, and big battle here. Stanford in the driver's seat, looking for one final set to move their attention to Louisville, who they'll have on Sunday. For Notre Dame, backs up against the wall, fighting to get to a 5th set. They're down 3 here in set 4 after picking up the 2nd set, winning 25-23. Those 2 sets have been dominating wins for the Cardinal. Just as we thought we were going to start, Michael O'Connor goes back over to the book. And we'll talk with Salima Rockwell. As Fiona Chader comes onto the court. Elia Rubin gets it across the net. Gardy swings and fires and gets the back corner.
That's a perfectly placed kill from Morgan Gardy. They started to look to her a lot in that 3rd set. I think Stanford, especially in the middle, pretty tall, tough to get around that block, so you look to Gardy, tallest on Notre Dame at 6'4", and also, of course, even more importantly, very talented. So good to see her getting involved, and Palazzolo, that was a great dig.
Palazzolo across the net. Francis. Chader behind the back set, gets it to Trump. Off balance. Ogilvie keeps it alive. Minor laid out for it. Bevan gets it across Notre Dame, tries to attack, and Palazzolo from the back row attacks into the net.
Yeah, a lot of options on the free ball over. Chader chooses to go to the back line to Palazzolo, with Trump on one side and Gardy on the other. Interesting call. I don't know if Palazzolo was really expecting it. Perhaps she seemed a little bit surprised. when the pass was to her. And hit it into the net, but Irish get the point right back on the service error.
And Lucy Trump. Rubin gets it to Minor. And Andrew makes a quick work of that. Not even allow Notre Dame to get set fully before the attack came.
Interesting to see Lizzie Andrew out there close to the pin, the middle blocker standing at 6'5", one of the taller players on the Stanford team that has the size advantage in the middle, does not have it on the wing, so perhaps that's why you let her take some points from out there. And there she is in the middle doing her thing again. Number 11 in black has been an impact player, one of the many impact players for the Cardinal.
A timeout here for Notre Dame. They find themselves down 4 in a crucial set. And for Stanford and Notre Dame, small history, nothing all that crazy between the schools. It's now their 9th meeting. Notre Dame's only picked up 1 win in the series, and it was a millennium ago. In 2009, it feels like. And you really feel Notre Dame volleyball has transcended through that time, along with Stanford, and how they have developed over these course of the last 2 decades.
Yeah, you just see first meeting since 2011, so this is nothing like that game 13 years ago. It's so different, the direction these programs have gone. And Stanford, of course, has always been the pinnacle. It seems at least that way, and especially now, the pinnacle of college volleyball. But a lot changes in 13 years. Of course, both these coaches were not even coaches, or excuse me, they were not at these programs. Coach Rockwell was an assistant coach, and Coach Hamblin was not yet at Stanford. So way different rosters, of course, with it being at the collegiate level. You don't have players for all that long, but Stanford has had the upper hand in this series for most of it. And Notre Dame's only win, as you mentioned, Jake, 2009. And they're going to have to do a lot in this 4th set, the 4th or 5th set, to even give them a chance to pick up that 2nd win against Stanford all time.
Minor, one of the best in the country at the center position, serves it into the net. And now 17 service errors for Stanford in comparison to Notre Dame's 11. It's been a tough day for the Cardinal on the service line. Minor quickly up to Kurt and gets the kill.
Yeah, just so many different ways Stanford can come at you, and tough to align your block. You see Langer getting there late because she doesn't know where that pass is going to go. And that allowed Kurt an easy opportunity against the solo block, and she made no mistake.
Levy with the pass to Rubin, and it goes Notre Dame's way. Annie Monson to serve. 2nd consecutive year being named a captain, Monson is. Leader that Salima Rockwell talks about as being a leader by example. Someone that isn't all the time outspoken, but does the things the right way, and is a great example for everyone involved.
Yeah, she's someone who's, as she's grown older now in her 5th year with the Fighting Irish, has become more vocal, but she is described by Coach Rockwell as a leader by example. She goes the hardest in the gym. She's always trying to get in those extra reps. She really works hard. She practices, she preps, she plays the right way, and she's a role model to a lot of players on this team. Is number 8 for Notre Dame, even if she's not the most vocal. Again, she's louder than she used to be, but still not the most vocal leader, and I believe we're going to get a challenge here as that kill looked like it was out of bounds, but called in.
Kevin Hambley went to the green card to go take a look at it and said, Michael O'Connor, once more the downward official over to the monitor.
He's had an average review time of about 10 to 12 seconds. He's been very efficient down there and getting pretty familiar with the other people at the scorers table across the way from us. Pretty big moment in this game, whether this becomes a 5-point spread or a 3-point spread, with Stanford creeping close to that 25-point mark that they're desiring. Great work by our replay crew picking up this angle, and where does it hit the ground? It's a lot of green over there. I would be shocked if this stayed with Notre Dame.
As the two officials talking over their headset, Rob Rodriguez, the upward official. It will be an overturn call to give the point for the Cardinal. Stanford now 4 points away. It's 21-16. Ogilvy to serve. Sam brings it back for Bjork, and Bjork gets the kill.
That's a great work by Ella Sant. We saw her earlier in the game reach over the net and get called for it, but there does a great job saving it just in time. And Bjork was ready, got it to the back corner, and if you're Notre Dame, got to start somewhere.
I'd love to have it start with Fiona Chader. Minor, quickly up to Rubin. Who else?
17 now for Elia Rubin, hitting over 300. Higher hitting percentage than anyone on the Notre Dame team right now. Their leader, Morgan Gardy, at 316. Elia Rubin is a special player, and she is showing that tonight.
Chader sets the middle to Bjork. Minor to Francis. Dockery goes chasing for it. Minor behind the back to Francis, who finds it quickly. And it will be a timeout for Notre Dame. I'll talk things over with Stanford, 2 points out from walking away with a 4-set victory. Stanford's got a big game on Sunday against the Louisville Cardinal. You can catch that one on the flagship of ESPN. It's gonna be a good game down in the Bluegrass State. Then they head home to host back-to-back weekends. 4 home games for them, bringing people out to the Maples Pavilion out in Northern California, and sets up for what should be a really strong ACC slate of games for Stanford. But for Notre Dame, they've got a very challenging slate here to start ACC play. They have Cal back here on Sunday. You can catch that one back here on the ACC Network Extra. Then next weekend, they welcome themselves Georgia Tech, and then they go on the road to take on the Florida swing of Miami and Florida State.
Yeah, Notre Dame in the midst of a 4-game home streak right now. Stanford just about to host a 4-game home streak, so early in conference play especially, it's good to get those home games in, good to build momentum. Of course, big advantage to play in your own pavilion. And both these teams have challenging schedules, as you mentioned. There's very few, if any, easy games in this ACC conference, and Stanford, a premier opponent for anyone who's playing them. And for Notre Dame, Cal's a pretty good team. 1 rank ahead of them in the projected ACC standings coming into the year, so that'll be a big one for the Irish on Sunday. And then it's, as you mentioned, down to Florida for 2 games against 2 tough opponents there, including number 25, Miami.
Bjork, where the attack error puts Stanford at match point. Service error, and Notre Dame's not out of this just yet.
And they'll quickly get Gardy back into play. Palazzolo serving. You'll need at least 6 points in a row to extend this game.
Sydney Palazzolo gets it across. Minor goes chasing it down, sliding right in front of us. Francis across the net. Set to Gardy. Ogilvy gets it to Minor. Minor tried to dump it off. and Notre Dame.
Just good scouting. Bjork was ready, not surprised. Minor, we haven't seen her do that since the very beginning of the game, but she goes for it there, and again, well defended. Notre Dame very prepared for that play from her.
Francis has it go out of bounds. Hold on here, Notre Dame's got some life. Palazzolo to serve once more. Minor down to a knee. Quickly up to Rubin. Palazzolo goes chasing it down. Palazzolo from the back line. Trump down to a knee and gets it across. Ogilvy with the pass now to Rubin, sliding in. Chader all over the court. Gardy flat-footed. Minor on the tap to Francis. Chader with the set to Gardy, and Gardy can't get it across. The heroics for Notre Dame end, and Stanford picks up the win in 4 sets. What'd you see, Charlie?
I saw a Stanford team that is very talented, and despite the amount of service errors that they made, they came away with the win. And I think if you're Coach Hambly, you're obviously happy you come into a pretty raucous environment and you get